baseball is not like the other sports in that free agency starts today, but it's just the first day they could do anything. Yes. It's not like the whole wave of signings that happen with the other sports. But
do we need Elliot in the breaking news
not
booth?
Like football free agency where everybody's waiting.
Right. Oh, here we go. NFL's king. Here we up.
Well, even basketball, it used to happen at midnight. Yes. We had Josh Harris and Daryl Morey getting to Paul George's house at 1 a.m. That worked out well. Where's Paul George? But it is the day that baseball free agency starts, and you start seeing the articles with here's how much this guy's going to make, here's how much that guy's going to make. We have so many questions here. And I started thinking about the Phils this morning on my long walk, and we really have a choice. The organization has a choice next year. They can either just sort of go all in, spend a bunch of money, try to beat the Dodgers, or maybe take a step back and think about the next 5 years and competing for the next 5 years. And right after the season, I think I would have been in the first camp. Let's go beat the Dodgers. We were right there. They won 3-1, but we were right there. But the more I start thinking about it, the more I start thinking about these contracts and looking at these numbers and looking at the ages of all these guys and thinking about the future of the Phillies, I don't think I want to go all in to beat the Dodgers next year. I'd rather the Phillies take a step back this year, clean stuff up, and get ready for the future. I'm looking at these numbers, right? 130 to 150 million in 4 or 5 years for a 32-year-old Kyle Schwarber. $400 million for Kyle Tucker, who's a good player, but what are we talking about here? $150 million for Alex Bregman, a third baseman who's a good player, of course, but 32 years old, hurt all the time. Pete Alonso, 31 years old. I just think if they do this thing where they double down on this and try to go all in next year, it's going to set the Phillies up for 2 or 3 years from now. We're going to be in trouble. We're going to have a roster full of guys past their prime, making a ton of money. We'll be bereft probably of young players because we're going to have to trade guys to get off the Castellanos money and get off the Taiwan money. I'd rather just sort of bring a couple of young guys up this year, maybe make a smart, free agency move here and there, be good this year, but not do some all-in thing where we're trying to beat the Dodgers and we're doubling down on all this. I'd rather the Phillies think about the next, 5 to 7 years this offseason than doubling down and trying to win next year.
Yeah. Let's add 5 to 7 more years to not having a World Series.
I don't know.
What good is that for us?
Well, I'd rather think about the ability to be able to contend for the next 5 years. We lived through the post 08 Phillies, that era. And it was a horrible era. And I see these moves and I understand, we got to bring Kyle Schwarber back and we need to spend big money on a free agent, this and that. And what's going to happen is you're going to look at a roster in 2 or 3 years and you're going to see a 35-year-old Bryce Harper and a 35-year-old Trey Turner and a 35-year-old Kyle Schwarber and a 35-year-old Alex Bregman or whoever the hell they sign. And they're all going to be past their primes and they're all going to be playing 100 games. And none of them are going to be producing, and we're not going to have the ability to go and move forward and get better then. And we're going to have young players that might be good, but are an organization that's hampered by all this money. I just think they need to be smart this offseason. And they were good last year. They were really good, and we had a chance.
Second most wins in baseball.
But you can't convince yourself that just because you were good last year that you can go and spend all this money and then continue to be the same kind of good. Those guys, I think they should be smart. I think they should be smart about Schwarber. I wouldn't, 3 years on Kyle Schwarber, fine. Yeah. 2 years on Alex Bregman. But these 5-year deals, $150 million here, $150 million there, give Bryce an extra $100 million. I think it's just crazy, and I think it's going to hurt the franchise.
Well, here's the thing. I won't bore anybody with the whole haggling over how many years, right? Because I guess there's a price that everybody be willing to bring everybody back. Yeah, if we can get everybody on a 1-year deal, sure, sign everybody, but that's not reality.
Right.
That's not reality. And nor do I believe we have to go out there and sign 5, 6, 7-year deals with all these guys for $150, $160 million. The idea, but this is what Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton, the mind frame should be. Now is our time. Now is our time. You got to take advantage of the players that you have right now. Yes, you can tinker with the roster, but the meat of this team should remain intact. I still hold steadfast. You can't afford to be losing guys like Kyle Schwarber unless you're going to replace Kyle Schwarber's productivity with somebody that can do that. right? So whether you're letting certain players go and bringing in other high-priced players, the bottom line is there's no way you should be thinking about taking a step back from a 96-win team, a team that had the second most wins in baseball. Here's where I think gets lost with everybody. And I'm not excusing losing to the Dodgers, but let's face it, they lost to the Dodgers. So had they played, I don't know,
San Diego, Milwaukee,
in
Cincinnati,
that first round and
yep.
won, and then lose to the Dodgers in the NLCS. What are we saying then?
But
is everybody willing? No, real quick. Is everybody willing to blow the team up then? So it's because they ran into the actual best team in baseball sooner than someone else did. But anybody that ran into the Dodgers, they lost. They lost. And I don't think anybody else is going to blow their team. I don't think Milwaukee's going to blow their team up. I don't think anybody's going to blow their team up. Here's what they need to do. They need to be smart in adding the right pieces to this team. They won 96 games after losing the ace of their staff the last third of the season. The third or fourth best pitcher on the damn roster was gone for 2.5 months of the season. Bryce was gone for a month. I say all of this to say they did all this with guys missing a lot of time and still won 96 games. They still won 96 games. If they have Zach Wheeler in that series versus the Dodgers, is it different? I look at that series versus the Dodgers and I watch what everybody else did. I mean, as far as holding down that Dodger lineup, no one did it as well as we did from the Phillies.
Yeah, I think if you're throwing money trying to go beat...
You got to.
But no, you can't.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford to make mistakes like the Dodgers can afford to make mistakes. We are playing we have to play a different game than them. And I think what you can get trapped into is seeing them spend money and being like, you know what we got to do? We got to just spend money like they spend money.
On good players,
yeah,
though.
But the difference is we can't play the same game. We have to play a smart, long game. We can't play, let's just spend $100 million on this and $200 million on that, because what's going to happen is in 2 or 3 years, John Middleton's going to look at $200 million a year in their roster that's not performing and say to himself, there's nothing I can do about it. Whereas the Dodgers, the Mets can double down and spend more money and spend more money and spend more money. We can't do it. And I promise you, you give Kyle Schwarber $150 million, you're going to regret it. You give Alex Bregman $200 million, you're going to regret it. All the deals on the market right now, you're going to regret
if they win the World Series.
And they're probably not.
Why?
They could, but I think they could win the World Series. You know what? You're talking about the core of the team. Bryce is going to be here. Trey's going to be here. Zach Wheeler's going to be here. Chris Sanchez is going to be here. That's enough.
That's not enough.
Let the young guys come up. See which ones are good. Guys? Let Crawford come up. Let what's his name play third base until Aiden Miller gets here. You know what? They can compete and be good enough next year without trying to take down the Dodgers by spending a bunch of money.
But here's the thing. And that's easy to say right now. When you're in the moment, is anybody thinking about 4 or 5 years down the road? Well, you shouldn't be. I mean, as a fan, if a team comes up short, you're going to say, or you get to the trade deadline, you're going to say, well, why didn't you go out and get the piece that we needed so we can go win? No one's going to be saying, oh, don't worry, we can sit on our hands and whatever happens, happens. We need to be building for the future. You know what this is? Nobody's going to do that.
You know what you want to do? You want to do what the Sixers did.
Yeah.
Nope. And that's what the Sixers did. Re-signing Kyle Schwarber is like doubling down on Joel Embiid. Going out and signing Alex Bregman or somebody is like signing Paul George. It's thinking you're close when you're not close. That's the difference. And I just think they need to be smart and not handcuff themselves.
So they ought to just give up.
No, I'm just saying you have a year where maybe you win 88 games, you win 89 games, you get lucky, something like that, and you clear Castellanos off your books, you clear Taijuan Walker off your books. You end up getting rid of the bad money, and then you can spend good money
You've
again.
already decided you don't care if they don't win next year.
They'll be good enough.
No. I'm asking about winning a championship.
Yes, I would not.
This is a championship. This is all we care about, the championship.
Yes.
Like, everything else is cute. Everything else is cute, but we really want to win.
Yes.
Like, we really want to win a title.
Yes.
So you're okay. Well,
yes, I'm okay with them going into next year.
I can't believe most baseball fans would feel that way. There's no way you could be heavily invested in this team and say you don't care if they win. I can't buy that.
I care if they win over the next 5 years, not next year. I'm just not trying to outgun everybody next year. This is not going to happen. 215-592-9494.
It may not happen, but it doesn't mean you should just throw your hands up and don't try. Can you imagine if they rolled that message out?
Well,
the Phillies, if they rolled that message out to this fan base, like, you know what? We're trying to build for the future. Trying to compete right now with the Dodgers is pointless. You know? Well, by the way, Bryce, I wonder how happy he'll be knowing that he's just playing on a mediocre team that he's going to get killed for.
Oh, who cares?
Well, I know you don't care, but I'm saying the players on the team actually care. You're wasting his prime or what years he has left.
He's wasting his prime.
No, when you're not building a team around him, you're wasting his prime as a team.
And
that's what you're doing. You're wasting Trey Turner's prime. You're wasting these players' prime by talking about Aiden Miller and some other young guys. Justin Crawford, really, they're here to save the day.
If there's going to be a future of the Phillies, it's going to have to be those guys. And you know what? Bryce Harper, when he's 35 years old, will be happy that the Phillies have young players to prop him up when he's busy also making $30 million and he's a part-time player. 215-592-9494. Do you want the Phils to go after it this offseason, double down, spend a bunch of money, try to beat the Dodgers, or plan for the future?